All right. Hello, everyone. Looks like I'm live. Good to be with everybody today. Sorry for it was a little short notice, but um, Tuesday I had a doctor's appointment in the morning. My neck was really bothering me, and I got some steroids for that to kind of help with some of the chronic pain, um, and I have some physical therapy to help strengthen my neck up in a couple weeks. So I wasn't able to come on Tuesday. I was feeling pretty depleted after that. Um, and I had a couple of readings today and felt really up to it. So I wanted to jump on and do our weekly political show today. So thank you all so much for being here. Sending you all a lot of love. Please do me a favor. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please click on the subscribe button. Please like this video. Click on the notification bell to get notifications of when I'm going live. Last I checked, I was 35 subscribers away from 9,000, so I will probably be having some kind of announcement, I'm thinking next week, hitting that goal, and doing a free reading and a free Reiki session giveaway, which I'll explain how to enter that once I hit that goal. So excited about that. And thanks everybody for all the growth too, because the subscriber counts just kind of skyrocketed. So I'm grateful for everyone to help me with these goals. I do have quite a few announcements. Let me go through the chat real quick. So a couple questions come in. If you have a political or current event question that you'd like me to answer today, go ahead and write it in the chat. All caps, a couple heart emojis. It kind of helps stand out. I will get to as many questions as possible. If I don't get to your questions, I will be on Mel's channel tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And I'm excited. Medium Kim Copeland is going to be joining us. Typically, I don't think she typically reads on politics, but she wants to get down and dirty into the politics with us tonight. So she'll be a welcome surprise on our show tonight. I did do a show with Andre last night that was pre-recorded, so that should probably post sometime today or tomorrow. So you might see a lot of me today, which is all right. Sorry, I keep saying a lot. Next Tuesday, I won't be doing my show at my usual time. So at noon, I believe, I'll be on Lori, the Way of Positive Changes channel. We'll be doing politics. And then later, next Tuesday night, Susan Lynn will be joining us at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Eastern Daylight Time. And so I'll be doing a lot of politics next Tuesday, which is always fun. So I'm looking forward to those shows as well. I do have a bit of a special announcement. I was showing you some Reiki music that I got on to work on here last Tuesday. So I'm going to post it after the show today, but I'm going to do a little healing and prayer circle tomorrow. I'm thinking at 4 or 4:30 Eastern Time. I have a couple of readings, so it will just depend on when I finish up with all of that. So, Myrna. So I'm looking forward to that. I've done some Reiki circles when I had my members group. Did some Reiki healing, and I really enjoyed that. So I'm looking forward to sharing that with everyone. It'll probably be like a 15-20 minute Reiki session, and then after we're done with that, any intentions for the Reiki or any prayers that you want said out, I'll read them aloud. Tomorrow is the full moon, so that will be really good at kind of anything that's no longer serving you that you want to release. Could be pain or anything emotionally or mentally going on, things that you kind of want to manifest to leave behind. I think that will be a great intention for tomorrow. So hopefully it's a really powerful session. If you do any kind of healing modalities and you want to share the space with us, I would love that as well. So yeah, I've been pretty busy. As you can tell, a lot of fun stuff in the works. So somebody asked about my appointments. I believe I have one opening next week, I think Friday afternoon. But I have some availability the following week. If anybody's interested in a reading or a Reiki session, send me an email at kevinlovingvibrations@gmail.com. I have that in the description box of the video and in my about section on my channel. So we got a lot of stuff going on. Let me just start some of these questions, you guys. We got a lot of love. Hello, everyone. Please hit the thumbs up. Yes, let's take a moment. Just take a deep breath, and we're going to ask for the most benevolent outcomes for Linda G and her surgery today, that everything goes smoothly, and that she has a quick and full recovery. And I did message her about my show tomorrow. I'm sure we'll get a lot of love and healing requests for her tomorrow, so we'll keep her in our heart and our thoughts tomorrow for sending some Reiki. I asked her if she felt like she needed it. She's more than welcome to join in on the chat to receive some. So, all right, lots of questions. Yes. I always enjoy our time together, everyone. This community is just so awesome. So thank you. Oh, my dog is doing good, Wani. Thank you for asking. I have Finn. You might be able to see him. Oh, no, right there, laying down and being a good boy. So they've been wanting to sing a lot for us lately. So hopefully we don't have any interruptions during the chat, but it could happen. All right. I did, unfortunately, I was one of the YouTube channels I follow was streaming the debate. I did watch part of it. I couldn't watch it for too long. But what a shit show! Everybody screaming and yelling over each other. Bunch of clowns. And the real winner of the debates is Donald Trump because he doesn't even have to go. And besides Chris Christie, nobody's really, disagreeing with him or going after him. Yeah, we'll definitely read at the government shutdown, everyone. Hey, Willow. Yeah, I wasn't planning on watching the debates, but I did watch part of it, and I couldn't stomach to watch it for too long. The full moon is technically the 29th. I believe it's at like 4 or 5 in the morning tonight. So, we kind of, if you have crystals or tarot cards, anything you want to clear and charge, put them out in the full moon, about where the moon sets, because I think it technically becomes full at like 4 or 5. And you can set your cards out tomorrow night too. So that's what I plan on doing. I might set them out tonight and tomorrow. So. All right, guys. Yeah, Chris Christie and Donald Duck. And Nikki Haley went after DeSantis a little bit. I think he did a little bit better than the first debate was just atrocious. But I just feel people turning away from DeSantis, and I feel energy towards Nikki Haley, but I don't see her as the nominee either. So, but yeah, Chris Christie was the only one that really was up there. I kind of attacking Trump, but I mean, he's got some a lot of views that I disagree with. So, who will be the first of the Republican candidates to drop out? It's a good question. I don't really know a whole lot about him, and maybe this is why he drops out. But that North Dakota governor, that was just coming through to me. So I feel like a lot of them are going to stay in. And, if anything, we have a crowded field. I think that that's a sure way to get Donald Trump as your nominee, which is kind of what I've been predicting all along. So, but the Burham guy, um, Asa Hutchins, I don't see him around for too long. I feel like DeSantis might make it to like Iowa and ends up fizzling out too. So no, Christie's not going to go far. Most of them do not care for Christie. Most of them are still in the Trump train. So it's kind of like you can't really attack Trump because then you got all the crazy MAGAs coming after you, and you don't have a chance of winning the nomination. But then you don't attack him. You just allow him to continue to be there, and you're not getting any supporters. You kind of have to go after everyone else. But um, I did like that. What's that guy's name? Vivek. I thought Nikki Haley had a good comeback with him saying we're all stupider now from hearing you speak. Um, I thought that was pretty funny. I feel like Nikki Haley won the debate, but I don't see her as the nominee. Yeah. All right, you guys. All right, so let's get to some of your questions. I do have some topics I'll want to make sure that we look at, but let's see what we get to time with those. And like I said, if I don't get to your question tonight, I will be on Mel's channel. Come by and send your question in the chat. We'll try to get to it. All right, Ness wants to know, what's the current read on Trump? How is he currently feeling? I don't really care. I don't think he cares about the debates at all. He thinks all the other contenders are losers. That's what I just heard. They're losers. I don't see him being too worried about that. If he was worried, he would go to the debates. But yeah, we had, what was it, on Tuesday, the judge saying that Trump did commit fraud. And I told you, Letitia James is going to be the reason. She's going to take down Trump work. I see Trump Tower crumbling. I've said it for many times. His family legacy, his family, the Trump name is it's going to be flushed down the toilet, and they're going to be penniless. And I've said all along too, this is a civil case, but I do feel criminal charges going against Trump.org and even the IRS. So, yeah, he's going to lose everything. Right? No middle name. So we dropped some cards. Give me just 1 second. Yeah, but Trump is really starting to slip, isn't he? I've been saying for a while. I felt like there's been some dementia there, even when he was in office. So let's do a little update. How's Trump doing? Oh, he's angry. He's angry about this New York case. I bet you his maids were angry when they had to clean all the ketchup off the walls too in the dining room. Yeah, he's having a bit of a meltdown. All right, let's take a look. Oh, he's trapped. It's really interesting too. I'm wondering if there's issues with him and Melania right now. I know that they don't have a real loving relationship, but I do have he's thinking about the relationship. There's issues with that. The moon. So maybe even an affair going on is what I'm kind of picking up, because he's got the Ace of Cups around him too. Yeah, he's looking for help is what he's looking for. He's looking around the globe for anybody that can come help him with all of his issues. He's defending himself across all of these lawsuits, all of these attacks. So he's just in that defense mode, attack, attack, attack. Yeah, I'm going to be victorious. So there's a bit of we all know he's a bit delusional, but yeah, he's trapped. He's totally trapped. He's in trouble. He can't get his way out of all these legal issues. I feel like even mentally, like with the for entertainment purposes only, but dementia issues, like mentally, he's just trapped. Um, yeah, a lot of big breaking news around him, the world watching him. Um, but yeah, he's not happy. This is grief. This is despair. So yeah, health issues too. I'm just feeling very tired, but trying to keep on going on. So yeah, but something with the relationship coming up. So and maybe it's issues because we all know Melania is this big gold digger, and sees his fortune about to be taken away from him, so she wants her cup before before he's penniless. Yeah, it could be Melania having the affair too. I could see her definitely having a bit of a side piece, but all right. But yeah, Trump's not in a good place, and it just feels like more and more. We've been I've been saying that for a while. All right. I should have put slow mode on. CC says now we have to see if Alvin Bragg files criminal charges. He might. But I feel the IRS coming after him too, and I think Letitia James is looking for like 250 million. I feel like she's going to get that and some on top of it. So I don't know how that all works, but yes, let's go, Letitia James. All right. And I've said it too. I feel more indictments coming soon too, and it feels for those around Trump for January 6th. So it might be in October. So keep an eye out on that. Amanda says someone suggested yesterday that Eric Trump might be Gary Busey's son. What do you feel? Yeah, it could be. I see the resemblance. All right. Sharon wants to know, will Letitia James prevent Trump from moving his money and assets to Newer Delaware LLC? Will Trump be charged with federal tax crimes and the rest of his assets seized? Well, I just answered half of that question, but will she prevent him from moving his money and assets to Newer Delaware LLC? I just heard yes. Yeah, I do think she'll be successful with that, Sharon. All right. Yeah, I did feel like there was a cognitive impairment there, Cynthia. I can't diagnose. I feel like dementia, but like I said, entertainment purposes only. But it's been going on for a while, but all the stress is really affecting him. Um, and I don't think that I think it may be used as an excuse with his legal cases at some point, but I don't think it's an act. There's some issues there that are real. All right, Hilda says, is Judge Chutkin about to snap the gavel and fine 45 with a massive fine, or place him under house arrest with no computer, no social media, or phone? Well, I've been saying for a while I felt a gag order coming in, and I do feel like she's going to approve of that. Trump isn't going to be able to control himself, but I do feel fines, and I do feel threats on moving the case sooner. Because I think originally when it happened, I felt like January, December, and so that's a possibility. Um, but definitely fines. I don't feel jail time, unfortunately. Yeah, Karen says. When he thinks he's running against Obama and that Jeb got us into the Iraq war, it's dementia. Yeah. Oh, and Joan says that she already froze the funds. Thank you for sharing. Yep, Trump is losing it, but he's been losing it for a while. All right. But I see them being very careful about jail for Trump. And I know that we all disagree with that because, he's not more important. If it was any of us, we'd be locked up. But they're really treading carefully just because they really want to prevent any violence or another insurrection attempt. So I think that that's why they've been slowly but steadily kind of, with coming out with the charges and just really making sure that the evidence is going to stick. They're just being careful. So I never felt like he was going to be arrested, but I feel like there's other ways that they can, discipline him for his dangerous behavior. All right. Rita wants to know, are any of the fake electors regretting that they ever got involved in Trump's scheme? Oh yeah, I think a lot of them are. And what states have they started going after the fake electors? Have they went over any of them already? Went after any already besides Georgia, Arizona? I think Michigan was talking about it. So it's a couple states. I'll do the shutdown next. It's on my list. I think some are regretful of the consequences that they're going to get, but some are really just on the Trump train and, brainwashed. They would do it again for Trump. So I get a bit of a mixed bag with that, Rita. But they will be held to account, is what I feel. Arizona's on the way, yeah. And they filed in Michigan. Thank you. Feels like even maybe like Pennsylvania, some charges too. It's I think a couple more states. All right. The shutdown. I haven't thrown cards on it in a while, so we'll throw some cards. Thank you, Hilda. I'm sorry. Sorry, you guys, trying to get these questions started. All right, let me pull your question back up. And I won't be able to find it. All right, how long will the shutdown last? I do feel a shutdown happening. I've said that for a while. The energy kind of shifted. It feels like a short shutdown, but I feel like what is it, like a continuing resolution where they fund it for like 30 days or for a couple months while they get something figured out. I feel like it's going to be something like that, and it could even maybe be another short shutdown afterwards. Because I feel McCarthy out as speaker. It doesn't feel like it's right yet. It feels like maybe November, December, January. But I definitely feel chaos in the House. So yeah, Kevin McCarthy has no balls. I agree, Sharon. Yeah, we can look up more at Kevin McCarthy next. All right. Government shutdown. What can you tell us about the government shutdown? I find it hilarious. McCarthy is trying to blame Biden for it when he already passed. They've already went over the financial talks with the budget and all of that um, a couple months ago, and now Republicans want to walk back from it. And McCarthy, instead of focusing on keeping the government open, we're having some fake Biden impeachment today. It's not going to sit well with people, I'm telling you right now. And it is going to hurt some people, but thankfully, I feel like it is short-lived. But I feel like there's continued stress around it, so it might be like one of those continuing resolutions, and we're back in this place in a couple months. Yeah. It's interesting that I feel like it's going to be a quick shutdown, you guys. I have a lot of momentum coming in here, but I do feel like, well, there's some pressure. Yeah, we have good outcomes. Action. Okay, perfect. Yeah, we have movement coming in. This is that communication, momentum growing, crossed with some good news, and then, giving and taking. So like negotiations. Right now, we're kind of in limbo, is what I feel like, with the Three of Wands, kind of waiting to see what happens. Five of Pentacles is crossing us, so there is some financial restrictions for a little bit. But then here we go with movement again. We have movement coming in. Um, King of Swords, this could be like McCarthy coming in. And then in the future, we have the Star, so the hope, the government, and action being taken. So, but I do still feel some drama, so it feels like I said, maybe a continuing resolution, and we're not totally out of the woods, but I don't think it's going to be, it could be a couple of days, Gene, maybe a week or two, but I'm not feeling like months and months. So, yes. House is a circus right now because of the GOP. Yeah, and I believe when I was on Andre's channel, he brought that up. Kevin McCarthy's having a second Saturn return, so not looking very good for him. I don't even know who they would have to replace him. Just feels like chaos and dysfunction in the House. And really, the only way that they're going to be able to get anything done, and even get another speaker in there, it feels like I've been saying for a while, going to the Democrats and having to work together to get anything done. So I do feel like some bipartisanship. Not yet. It's going to be a you-know-what show for a while, but all right. Chaos in the House. How dare you suggest such a thing? Yeah, the Republican Party's imploding for sure. All right. Will Kevin McCarthy be kicked out as Speaker? Let's throw on it. I feel yes. Yes, they should do their jobs, not the stupid impeachment. Yeah. Like I felt it biting them. So there's a lot of federal workers that are Republican. You mess with their money, they're not going to forget. Yeah. Lynn says then we have to go through the whole thing again in October, November, December, one CR after another. It feels like that for a little bit. It feels up in the air. All right. All right, let's take a look at Kevin McCarthy. I feel him being kicked out as Speaker. The timing's always the issue, though. I feel he'll be out before the next election cycle. Feels like it could be the end of this year, beginning of next. All right. These Republicans, all they care about is control and power and money. He's trying to come off as strong. We know differently. Yeah, moving on. Retreat. Trapped. I feel like it might be a little bit before he leaves. We might still have a couple more months. Because he's like, I'm sitting here, I'm sitting pretty. I have control and order here with the emperor. There's a delusion there. Like, I'm the star. What you need me here. But I get like, he's about to have a reality check, 9 of Swords. So in this deck, it's kind of more restriction, like the 8 of Swords, which he has in his future. But it's like having nightmares, being a bit paranoid, people coming after you. Feeling very kind of stuck, unsure of what to do. I do see him moving on. This is retreat, taking a step back. He's trapped by these by like these 10 Republicans that are just holding it hostage. But he's trying to be strong. But I see him having to leave. He might hang in there for a little bit longer, like I said. But that's what happens when you give up all of your power and you just try to appease 10 members, right? And when he will be kicked out, right? I don't know who takes his place, Lynn. I can't see that yet. I don't know who could take his place. It's kind of what I'm feeling. But I told you when he got the speakership, I didn't see it very clearly, and it just felt murky, and that's kind of what I'm feeling. I feel like they're going to have to go somebody. I don't see a MAGA person getting enough support to get to become speaker. I feel somebody more in the middle, so I'm not sure who that would be. Yeah, I feel some of these extremists being voted out. And, we're going to have indictments end of this year, beginning of next year for some of these people involved in the January 6th. So I did see her doing some Cassidy Hutchinson, her interviews the other day. Who was she on with? Was she on with Nicole Wallace a couple days ago? I've been so busy, you guys, I haven't been staying up with the news like I should be. Almost 500 people watching. Please hit the thumbs up. Please subscribe. Appreciate it. Rachel Maddow interviewed her. Okay. I do know that Cassidy Hutchinson, it took her a while to kind of see the writing on the wall. I think what really did it for her is when the January 6th stuff was going on and Trump was paying for her lawyers, and they were trying to sway her, rather than her doing what's best for herself, they were trying to sway her on the Trump side to have his back. So I don't think she liked that, and she kind of saw the light there. All right. No middle name said Jason Smith crashed and burned. His press conference was awful. I'm not sure who Jason Smith is. Is that a congressperson? No middle name? All right. Yeah, she has morals and good ethics. I agree, Cynthia. Cassidy Hutchinson. Yeah, and I that's right. That's what I remember her dissing Matt Gaetz. He was saying that they dated. She's like, no. Yeah, she's been on a lot with her. She has a book that came out, I believe. All right. So Maria says, "Is Ukraine winning the war?" Let's throw in Ukraine. I I've said all along I see Ukraine winning the war, um, and at some point here, not too far out in the future, I see things de-escalating when Putin's no longer running Russia. I was kind of feeling like maybe I was feeling like a heaviness towards the end of September. Maybe it's more into October, but I did feel like there might be a bit of a blow with Ukraine, like Russia doing something too far. But I see Ukraine continuing to fight back and really gaining ground. Let's take a look. What's going on with Ukraine? Yeah, they're fighting. Some obstacles. They have victory. Um, it feels like maybe somebody trying to broker a peace deal between the two of them. I don't see that happening or being able to happen with Putin in the picture. This is the action. Um, they're fighting for what they believe in. They're not going to give up. They're determined. Um, Empress is often my Russia card. So they're fighting Russia. They're holding their ground, defending themselves, continuing to push back. There is some burden sitting their way, but I do feel like victory, standing in their truth. Yeah, I see things starting to de-escalate. Um, like I said, it feels like you know Putin might do something a bit impulsive there, but then things start to de-escalate. Putin's going to have some trouble with that mercenary group coming up here soon too. So I kind of feel like he's out of the picture sometime at the end of this year, spring of next year. I feel like spring of next year, like March, May. Um, well, I don't think that the war is going to be completely over. I feel like there's still going to be some disputes on the territory. It feels like all of this, all this destruction is kind of tampering off. So they won't give up. They're determined, and they're not fighting for what's right and for their family and for their land is what's going to make them victorious. So yeah, and Putin, Russia will lose that war. Suvi. I see it. I feel like a revolution in Russia. I don't know how long it takes. I've been saying it for a while, but I do feel like people are getting tired of Putin, and if his health issues don't get him, he's going to have to run away from all these people after him. So I don't see him in the picture for a whole lot longer. All right. Beth says now that Trump org has been convicted of fraud. Well, I don't think he's been convicted. I think the judge just said that fraud occurred. I think the trial starts next week. Will 45 lose Trump Tower or any of his other properties? I see him losing Mar-a-Lago and Trump Tower. It feels like it's maybe a couple of years away. Maybe it's more so when the IRS goes after him. But I see this being a big hit for him. Absolutely. Subi says, war is horrible, slavery is worse. That's why Ukrainians are fighting. Amen. All right. Oh, this is interesting. No, it hasn't came up yet, Corey. Will Republicans recruit Youngkin? I've read on this before. I think me and Andre talked about it a little bit last night. They are trying to recruit Youngkin. However, I think Youngkin knows it's not his time. I see him running in possibly 2028 for the nominee, and he might actually get it there because I do feel like a lot of support around him, but I don't think he wants to jump into the circus ring right now. Oh, okay. Colleen says I was wrong. She says he's been convicted on summary judgment. The trial is for damages. Thank you. I'm not the most knowledgeable about how it all works, but yeah, I see. He's going to be paying, like, I think even more than that 250 million. So, oh yeah, we'll be watching Chesbro and Powell's trial, I think, next month. How many of the 17 will flip after that? I'm feeling like between 7 to 9, Mystic Wanderer. So I think a good chunk, about half. It might not all be at once either. So, oh yeah, let's take a look at this douchebag Menendez. All right, Casey says, do you see Menendez stepping down, or will he stick it out? I see him having to leave. I think he's going to try to stick it out for a little bit, but no, I see him leaving. Kathy says 250 million is the least amount. Yeah, he'll be paying more than that. Trump will appeal it. Yeah, so it's going to take a little bit of time still. Let's take a look at Menendez. I'll say what really makes me irritated with this is, you know, sure, we have some crooked Democrats on our sides. I do feel like, you know, I feel like there's guilt there for entertainment purposes only. But yeah, I feel guilt there for what Menendez did. But what drives me crazy is, like, we're going after the Democrats, Hunter Biden, this guy. Why aren't we going after the Republicans for? I can guarantee you a lot of them have taken dark money. We'll get there, but it's just frustrating that we have Democrats, a couple of Democrats here or there that are getting in trouble for it, and the Republican Party's been blatant about it. So, but we have to be patient, I guess. Not always my strongest suit. I feel like Menendez is going to, sitting pretty, living lavish. Yeah, he's going to lose. He's going to have to go. He's trapped by this. I feel like he makes a deal, though, and maybe it makes a plea deal, and maybe doesn't get in as much trouble. But I see him and his wife are in some trouble. Yeah, yes, he's leaving. Yep, death. Endings of his career, I feel. Jail. Jail card in his future. Yeah, he's leaving. It might not be a long sentence, though, because, like I said, it feels like it's negotiated with the deal. But I do feel him and his wife getting in some trouble. I almost forgot about Menendez. It's so hard to keep track with everything going on. It's like we have a million stories a day, right? Yeah, Democrats are cleaning house. Yes, timing is the hardest, Cynthia. I feel some being indicted, it could be towards the end of this year, maybe like October, like November, December. And I feel more in the spring, Cynthia. I told you with the January 6th indictments, there's like stages of indictments coming out. So we got Trump. We're going to have those closest to him. So like Giuliani, probably Sidney Powell again. Those crucial in the insurrection. Then we have some Congress people and more people involved with the funding and getting people there. A couple months later, more indictments. So it's kind of like staggered is how I'm seeing it. And I think that that's good too, because, you stagger it out and then you have people making deals and flipping on everybody. And we're really, we're getting so much more information that more indictments have to come out. There's more proof. So Joni Patry, astrologer. I don't know who that is. She's predicting a crash next month. What are you feeling? I haven't been feeling a crash, a financial crash, Carrie. I do feel like there's a bit of a dip. I wouldn't say the word crash, but also too with astrology, if we don't, um, with the budget issue, if the government goes into a shutdown, I could see that kind of probably being similar energy too. But no, I don't feel a total crash in the market. Yeah, I haven't heard anything about Linda. I think she's in surgery still. I think she said she had a 6-hour surgery. So, but I did send her an email last night and wished her well with her surgery and sending her a lot of love. I told her to stop in for my show tomorrow night if she feels like she needs some healing. We'll do some Reiki and send some prayers. I know a lot of you will be sending her those good wishes and quick healing vibes too. So, yeah, I feel like she's gonna pull through it. I feel like it may be a little bit sore, but I don't. I think she'll recover quickly. So, will all student loans be forgiven eventually? I do still see student loan forgiveness, Sandy. Don't give up on it. Um, I did tell you that I felt like there were some blocks in the road, but there was going to be debt relief. I don't know if I would say all student loans are forgiven, but I do see a bit of an overhaul with the federal student loans. I think capping the interest at a low rate, um, but I do see a lot of debt being forgiven. So it'll take a little bit of time. But I feel like after this presidential election, it's all going to get through. I would surely appreciate some student loan relief myself. So, all right. Yes, I do see Jim Jordan being indicted. I've said that for a while. Absolutely. I don't know if convicted, but I see Jim Jordan out at some point. Um, it might be after this. I feel like he might get reelected and then it doesn't end up finishing his term, or that's his last term. So he'll be around in the picture for a little bit longer. But I do see trouble for um, Jim Jordan. All right, let's do some lightning round, you guys. Yeah, I think her surgery started at 12 Pacific. Um, I'm Eastern, so it's about 5 my time. So she probably has like 3, 4, 5 more hours, I think. So we'll hear about her later tonight. I feel like it's gonna all go smoothly. So I don't keep in contact with Linda the most, but I did send her some love, like I said. So do you see some serious climate action happening soon? I do see I do see a big push with climate action, Sacred Hag, but I think where it's catching me is soon. I feel like not a whole lot's going to be done until after the next election. So, but yes, we'll be working for it. There's going to be a lot of money and resources put into getting this climate, um, into green technology and um, getting this climate change all cleared up. But it's going to take some time. Yeah, I see him. I see Jim Jordan being around for a little bit longer, unfortunately, but I do see him out. MTG, what's going to happen to her? I definitely feel indictments for MTG. Um, I feel like she gets in trouble before Jordan does, so maybe it's like spring of next year. Um, but yeah, I see her out as well. I actually feel like she might get some jail time, is what I feel. All right. I know, Sacred Hag. The climate stuff scares all of us, and it's happening everywhere. I had a tornado touchdown like 10, 15 miles from me, and then 2 days later we had like a small earthquake. It's just it's crazy. I live in Ohio, so um, yeah, it's happening everywhere. But it's important not to get into the fear. Just rise above it. Be prepared. That's why I always feel a little bit weird with some of the disaster predictions, and I get a lot of them because it affects so many people. But it's not meant to put people in a state of fear or resistance. It's giving you that warning. You know, sit in that light and manifest that energy to change. I mean, I do believe that prayers and intentions can shift things, or maybe shift intensities of storms, or whatever. So it's so important not to allow that to cripple you. But I mean, it can be scary. Absolutely. All right. Gloria says, is 45 ever going to be labeled as a traitor to our country? Absolutely. I do see that. It's going to be a while, but I do see that. I see him um, in the history books as, I think Linda said, an illegitimate president, traitor, not legit. I can't speak. Not being really voted in, but put in by Russia. So it's going to take a little bit of time. I do feel like the Russia Mueller report stuff coming back up in a couple of years, but I think Trump will probably be dead long before he's labeled a traitor to our country. Oh, that's a good one. Cece says, will Jack Smith issue more indictments as a result of shocking mishandling of classified documents? Yeah, like Meadows burning all those documents and papers. I do feel well, I do feel like there's more indictments. I don't know if it's a direct result of the way that they handle classified documents, CC, but I do feel like it does play a little bit of a factor into it, but um, I don't think it's a direct result, if that makes sense. I don't want to put a time frame on it, Casey. Do you feel 45 not being around by summer of next year? I feel like it's a possibility. I don't wish for it. I don't put energy into wishing for it. Um, let's just say, like I said, what I feel right now is the most likely outcome is Trump may get the nominee around summertime of next year, when they would have like the Republican convention and say he's the nominee. He gets it, and then something happens. He's not able to be on the ticket because I feel Republicans scrambling to put somebody else on the ticket. Um, so he gets like the nominee, and then isn't on the ballot in November, or isn't around to be voted on. But I almost felt too, and I don't know. I don't want to say that this is clearly what's going to happen, but I do feel like there may be some energy of them trying to put Tim Scott in as the replacement. I had a really weird feeling when he announced he was going to run, but I don't think that there's any way in hell he would be voted in as the nominee. So I don't know. Something's up with Tim Scott. Is that his name? It's not Tim Scott, is it? Yeah, it's Tim Scott. And I don't know. Sorry, just had a brain fart. Yes, but I do feel like there might be some energy around what you're asking for, or what you're asking about, Casey. No, Apple. She says, will Trump be charged with international trafficking, Epstein crimes? I don't see that, unfortunately. For entertainment purposes only, I do feel like there was a connection there between Trump and Epps, but no, I don't see him being charged with that. No, not Rick Scott Ness. The senator from South Carolina that's running for president, it's Tim Scott, right? Yeah, Tim Scott. I had a weird feeling about him, so All right, Hilda says, do you see Alex Whiting finding more filth on Trump and his zombies who are as corrupt as he is? I don't know who that is, Hilda. I do feel like, yeah, there is more finding information or releasing information about um, Trump, but I don't know who that is off the top of my head. All right, you guys, lightning round, trying to get through some of these questions. All right. Will Cassidy ever decide to be a Democrat? I don't know. I don't think she would label herself as a Democrat, but is she possibly going to vote for a Democrat in the future? I feel yes. So there's that. I feel yes with that, Mystic Wanderer. Did Trump buy Melania from Epps? I don't think he bought her, but I do feel like maybe that's how he was introduced to her sacred hag. So I feel like something there within that connection and a connection with Melania and that, but I don't think he bought her. I feel like maybe gifted. Rick Scott is Skeletor from Florida, yes. And is Rick Scott up for re-election this year? I felt him leaving, surprisingly enough. Oh, I could definitely see it. Cece says Cassidy said the White House gave classified docs to right-wing media and they returned them in whole food bags. I could absolutely see that. Absolutely. Oh, that's right. I did hear about that. Whitting is new Jack Smith hire from Hague. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I do feel yeah, he's going to be a really good asset to Jack Smith and the team. I almost wonder though too if he was brought in for some of the classified document stuff too. Um, with giving some of our adversaries top secret information. We love a convert, yeah. Mm, all right, guys. Casey thinks Rick Scott is up for re-election. Yeah, he's got some trouble for him. I feel some legal issues for Rick Scott too. Yeah, I believe he's uh he's from Florida. I haven't heard of any bad events happening October 6th, Kimberly. I heard that we were supposed to have bad events like the 23rd, and we're also here. It's not an apocalypse, so I wouldn't focus on the fear, Kimberly. I've said I do feel it's a bit of a heavy time. Um, I do feel, and I've said it for a while, and specifically with Georgia, I do feel like caution around like the Georgia case and um, maybe protests or some kind of violence in Georgia. I have said that, um, and I do feel like Putin might do something stupid in Ukraine. I don't feel like nuclear, um, but I do feel like energy of taking things a little bit too far, and but then being sidelined. So, um, and we still have some storms. I think we have another storm or two in the Caribbean, Atlantic. So keep an eye on that. So I don't know what people are predicting for October 6th, but I do feel some heaviness. So I don't want to put a whole lot of energy into something bad happening that day either, though. So, all right. I don't know about Ivanka going to jail, Apple, but I felt in the past I felt like an ankle um, bracelet, so maybe some kind of house arrest. But I do feel like her making a deal and um, throwing everybody under the bus to save herself, especially with the Trump doc, um, not the doc, but Trump or case. All right. Yeah, that's true too, Ness. There is heavy energy with this eclipse, and we have the full moon also. So that's very true. And I do feel like there might be some heaviness up until around the eclipse. So will Fani be okay? I do feel Fani will be okay, Mystic Wonder. Yes, I just felt yes. I feel like her protection and safety um, is a high priority. Oops. All right. Kathy says, will the connection to Russia and Putin between Trump and the senators and Congress people be firmly established and revealed by Smith and Whitting? I'm feeling yes to that, Kathy. And I've told you, and it feels actually like it's happening here rather sooner rather than later, like in the fall, winter of this year. But I said I felt a lot of these dark Russian money channels being found out, and it being a huge story. That could be why I feel Rick Scott out of the picture. So yes, I do feel like there's energy behind that, Kathy. All right. No, I don't feel this boundary. I don't want to put any energy to it, but no, I don't see that. All right. Well, that's shocking. Kathy says Fox News just said the impeachment hearing proved nothing. Shocker. All right, you guys. I'm gonna wrap up. Been on for a little over an hour. Um, but I had so much fun hanging out with you all. If I didn't get to your questions, I know we covered a lot today. Um, Stop by Mel's channel tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern time. Um, Kim Copeland will be joining us, so I'm excited about that. And if you feel like you need any healing or just want some peace and balance or wanting to send out prayers, I'm doing a bit of a healing and prayer circle tomorrow, I think at like 4:30 Eastern time. So make sure to stop by for that. I'll be posting something on that shortly. Again, if you're watching and you haven't subscribed, hit this subscribe, please. Help me get to 9,000 subscribers. I think next week we'll be announcing the giveaway and how to enter for that because I feel like we'll probably get there today or tomorrow. So um, excited for that and excited to be on Lori, the Way of Positive Changes channel next Tuesday. And Susan Lynn will be on my channel um, next Tuesday evening at 7 p.m. So, all right, I think I covered it all. If you want a reading, Reiki session, send me an email, kevinlovingvibrations@gmail.com. All right, everyone. I will see you all in a couple hours on Mel's channel. Sending you all a lot of love, and I will see you soon. All right, bye, everyone.